to what you're trying to do for other younger women, younger girls than you?
So essentially, engineering shapes the world around us. The moment you open your eyes in the morning, you turn on your light, you look at your cell phone, you open a tap to drink water or to shower. All of that is influenced by engineering. And I believe if we share those stories as to why engineering makes the world a better place, beyond just being about math and science, it's about solving the problems and making our lives better. And I think if we tell those stories to young kids, it gets them excited because they'll feel that they can be part of something bigger than themselves. So in my case, I've worked on projects where I built railway lines to connect community. I built mines that contribute sustainably to the environment around them. I've worked on port projects to transport goods from one place to the other, to ensure that some people in the most remote provinces get access to either goods or services. So that's part of the excitement for me, and that's why it really is important to share that message.
Now, phenomenal, because one of the things that I think is important, one, they need to understand that, yes, there is someone who looks like me who's been doing this and continues to do this, number one. And the second thing is just getting an understanding of when is it that girls start drifting away from maths, from science, from that, exploring that curiosity in that space, and how much of that is confidence versus access?
Yeah. So studies have shown that beyond the age of 10 towards ages of 12, that passion really dwindles. And I think the critical gap is that boys are raised to become doctors, to become mechanics, to become, for them, those are conventional careers that can easily step into. But rarely does somebody tell a girl, you can be an engineer, you can be an architect, you can be an IT specialist. So then at a young age, they're not taught that, and as they get older, they move further and further away from choosing STEM as a potential career. And beyond that, we start losing them at different stages of development. When they have to choose subjects to study for their higher education or further education, then they choose different subjects. And then the pipeline just continues leaking where you continue to lose young women and girls at different stages.
And how much is confidence versus access and representation, would you say, is a party to that?
I think it's confidence in kids is instilled. So if a child is not confident in something, it's because they haven't taught to be or they haven't encouraged to be. So that's an element to it, and certainly access. And that's why I believe with a book like that I've written, Lesedi and Ayama's Engineering Adventure, I hope to take it to some of the most remote provinces, that they start getting access to at a young age. I don't have to stand in front of them and tell them you can do it, and they can see it through a book. And certainly a book can go a lot further than I can.
Yeah, let's talk about that book. I mean, what inspired you to put that story into a book as opposed to any other method you might have used to actually expound on your thinking?
Yeah, so there's different ways to intervene. We can all show up in schools and do talks, which I do, but it only goes, so far. As I've said, I'm one person. A book, you buy 1,000 copies, you leave it at a school, or you leave it at a hospital, you leave it at a clinic. It stays there, and it becomes a legacy that can be passed on from one generation to another. I think a book is more sustainable, just instead of just one person standing up and speaking and disposing it.
In a sense, do you have a copy of the book with you? If you do, please hold it up. If not, and whether you do or not, it's important for people to know exactly how to get hold of it. If you do have it, please hold it up close to your face so you can see the cover, and make sure that people, when they look for it, they know what to look for. How does one get hold of this book? Because I think it's important that people understand there are different modes to actually instill the interest and keep the curiosity going in their children.
Sorry, there's a bit of background noise on my part. As I'm saying, I'm in an operational environment, but I heard everything that you said, and apologies for the interference. The book, Lesedi and Ayama's Engineering Adventure, is sold directly through myself on innocentia.com. I'm quite active on LinkedIn as well under the same name, where people can reach out to me. But the opportunity that I'm also looking out for is partners that can help me take this book even further. Companies that are publishing companies. At this stage, it's a vision and a dream that I'm building, but I'm looking for partners that can really helps this message spread it out and give me and allow me to or enable the book rather to reach different markets.
In a sense, I see that you studied at Wits University, so I think Wits Press could be one of those people that could help you distribute, so get hold of them. I've actually purchased the book online. Yeah, you should. I purchased the book online, it never got to me. If I buy a couple of these copies, do you commit to making sure they get to me?
I will personally deliver them to you. How's that for a deal?
Phenomenal, in Essentia. In Essentia, I really appreciate what you're doing for women, for young people who happen to be girls, to stick it out, to enjoy the curiosity, follow it through to the logical end, and stay in STEM.
Amazing. Thanks so much.
No, in Essentia Mahlangu.
Wow,